Hello and welcome to my art update podcast thingy. Doing another unscripted one just to get this out the door. Excuse me, it is about 5:30 in the morning, so my voice is a bit froggy. So here I am. I am now ensconced in Canada, which is why it's taken me more than a week to record this podcast, which is still a week behind. So this is I believe this is episode 50, and I'll title this later when I do the graphics for the episode. And the purpose of these podcasts is to keep those of you who are interested in what I'm doing up to date about my artistic work and a little bit about my life. So if you don't know who Andrew Woolner is, you've never heard of me, and you're not like one of my friends, you can certainly listen. I'm just not sure this will be interesting. I'm not even sure this will be interesting if you know me. So there we go. So I am sitting in the upstairs of the summer kitchen at the farm in Kitchener, the family farm. I'm recording this at 5:30 in the morning just so I can have a little bit of privacy before everybody else gets up. And I'm also sitting in a very awkward position because my mic stand there's something wrong with it. And so it can't hold itself up. I have to have it sort of jammed against something in order to keep the microphone from, just going thunk at the bottom. So I'm sitting in a very awkward position as I record this. And I'm afraid to move because the chair is going to make so much noise. So I did promise to talk about the discussion we had after we did the consent show. This is hard now because it's been 3 weeks almost. And I don't remember it super well. So we did 2 performances. There was 3 performances actually. We did an open dress rehearsal on the morning of the Saturday, and there were only a couple people watching, and only my friend Erin, I think, stayed online. Maybe there was somebody else, but she's the only one who was chatty. And so that discussion wasn't very long. And then in the afternoon and evening, we had sort of more full-bodied discussions, shall we say. So I tried to take a back seat. I feel like just bringing the group together in the discussions we had in rehearsal. There was a lot of my voice in that, and I wanted to have the group answer questions. Did we talk about everything that I wanted to talk about? I'm not sure. I really would have people were very focused on the sort of interpersonal consent piece, which to me was always just a bridge to the economic consent piece. So people wanted to talk a lot about that. And we barely touched on economic consent. And I think I didn't resist for the evening show. I didn't resist making a little speech at the end once all the questions were done about how I think it's time that we find ways of taking back some of our power as workers. Yeah. I thought this would be more of an in-depth recording. But in fact, I just realized I really don't remember a lot of the discussion now. I was really happy because when people asked questions that had come up and we discussed in rehearsal, the others were able to answer very clearly without me jumping in, and I felt like things were aligned enough that when people were talking about it, when Marie and Krista even and the others were talking about things that we seemed to have come to a consensus as a group, and that consensus was reflected in the answers that they gave. It's I guess it's silly me doing a blow by blow on that because you can just watch the recording. It is available at ytg.jp. If you go to shows, the shows page and go to consent, there's a link there you can donate, and you will get not just the link to consent, but to like a bunch of the shows I've done over the past few years. You can watch all of them, and you don't have to donate very much at all. It's like, 1,000 yen, which is $8 or $9 Canadian, and even less American. So, yeah, I mean, you could just do that. So I guess what I want to say about it is I kind of wish the audience had a little more sort of harmonized with us on the economic work consent thing. People seemed sort of uninterested in that. But that the group was very on message. The message that we'd come up with, not like my message. Although, as I say, we came to a consensus. We did harmonize everything. Yes, I mean, in the end, I was really happy. I think I said this last time. I was really happy with the show. I was really happy with the discussion. Although, I wish we'd gone into more depth, but I was happy the audience seemed willing to engage. We had a fair number of people for this kind of tiny show. Economically, the show didn't do very well. I think it maybe broke even. I'll pay the rent when I get back in March. I won't have time to do that before then. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's that. I didn't have as much to say about the discussion as I thought. So what's next? Well, I'm sitting in Kitchener right now at this desk with horrible internet. So I'm kind of limited to doing what I have with me. My first order of business will be to edit the show I shot the weekend before I left. So Ani Obasan, I'm going to shoot that. I'm going to edit that. I had this horrible moment where the disk didn't load properly, and I thought I'd copy the files onto, and I thought I was going to have to find a way of recovering that data from the SD cards, but it was just, I think, a loose connection or something, because those files are there. I came back from Toronto, where I went because I needed a better internet connection to teach my classes. But when I came back, everything seemed to be working. So yeah, that was quite a relief. So I quickly transferred that data onto the SSD drive on my little mini computer. And so one of the things I plan to do today is to start editing that. It shouldn't take too long. It's pretty straightforward. And yeah, and then probably move on to editing the podcasts. I'm hoping today or tomorrow to get to the script to DIHU, to Does It Hold Up? And yeah, my big thing this winter is trying to connect with other theater people so I can maybe connect to some kind of work here in Canada. I don't know, maybe artistic director is too much to strive for, but I definitely need something that has the flexibility that allows me to go back and forth between Canada and Japan at least once or twice a year. Yeah. And I have a little project in the works that I will probably announce in January. So that's it. I think I'm just going to leave it there. I hope this was kind of interesting and not too much just blather. I will try to script the next episode, so I'm following a bit of a pattern. And again, apologies for my voice. I'm a little bit, I don't think I have a cold, but my nose is a little bit stuffy because it's, early in the morning. And I'm not able to go on voice because even though I'm in the summer kitchen, I really got like about a couple feet of rock between me and the nearest bedroom. I'm a little bit conscious of my voice sort of carrying. And it's funny, when I put on my music, I'm not so conscious about that because I've gone downstairs and you can barely hear it in the downstairs main part of the house. So I doubt you can hear it really in the upstairs. But yeah, anyway. So that's it. I think that's it for me. If you're a Canadian person, please touch base with me and let's get together. So that's it for now. Andrew out.